Riding a scooter can be an absolute joy, but I realize that I'm coming up on my 3-year riding anniversary. Yay! And at the same time, I'm teaching my 16-year-old how to drive a car, and I catch another YouTube video that really got me questioning, and it made me realize that at 3 years in, I am making quite a few newbie mistakes. So hopefully this video will get you thinking about your mistakes you might be making, because at least being semi-aware will make you a better rider. So riding with the new driver in the house, I realized that he drives at a speed, in general, that he's comfortable driving. He feels good with the reaction time and keeping pace and all of that. But heaven forbid you put other cars around him, especially those that want to tailgate a little bit, and he speeds up. And it wouldn't be a big deal, except that he starts driving a little more careless, and he kind of starts freaking out in the whole pressure to speed up vibe, and he just becomes a worse driver. So especially early on in this, it was, one of those moments where we needed to pull over, kind of catch your breath whenever you can, whatever, because being calm and keeping your head straight is really key to not wrecking into other vehicles. So I'm watching this happen, and then I go for a ride, and I realize I was kind of doing the same thing. I know. I carry around this idea that when other vehicles around me see my scooter, especially my buddy Kick, they think it's a moped, and they drive a little bit more aggressive. They try to overtake me and cut me off more. And so what I've noticed is, like, coming off of a stoplight, I get on the gas a little more than I do if I don't have a bunch of vehicles around, or I haven't had somebody driving aggressive around me. But what I'm saying is I'm letting other vehicles dictate how I'm driving, but not in a way that's going to keep me safe. I'm driving in a way that's aggressive instead of just trying to be safe and enjoying the ride, because isn't that the vibe of scooters after all? So anyway, chalking that off to a newbie mistake that I've been making and I am working on now. Now let's go to the other side of my mistake spectrum here. And I noticed that I get comfortable sometimes and I just tune out. I'm involved in my own thoughts. I'm just going through the motions and riding. And we've moved, and so there's a lot of roads around me that I don't necessarily know as well. And so I go down this one road, and I do notice there's like trees, and it's pretty. This is one of those roads that I'm like, cool, nature. And I tune back out. There are so many potholes all over this road. My helmet shield is absolutely dirty. It's at a time of day where I'm kind of going into the sun, and the trees are like providing this sporadic amount of shade. And so ultimately I can't see. And then it's like you hit a pothole, and it's like, there's so much wrong with that moment. But when I step back to look at like the freak out moment that I was having, I just really was tuned out. There's a lot wrong with that. But when I think about what I could have done differently in the moment, not tuning out would have probably been the best thing. I was enjoying the ride, but I wasn't paying attention and keeping myself safe in a way, especially whenever I was riding somewhere I've never ridden before. So another newbie mistake that chalking off to something that I need to be better about. If by any chance you like the video, hit the like button. When I was going to the same work location Monday through Friday, and I had this routine so that on Sundays I would go out, I would wipe down my helmet, I would clean up the scooter, I would check the oil, the tire pressure, I would do the things. And so just even by cleaning it every week, I kind of made sure that everything was running as I expected and doing as it's expected and noticing anything. Well, now I've got a much more erratic schedule. I don't have that routine. And I've moved, and I don't do that thing on Sundays anymore as reliably. So that dirty helmet conversation was that. I'm also storing it in a place, we've got construction going on. My helmet is dusty, so I'm riding around with a dirty helmet instead of at least making sure every 7 days that it's where it needs to be. And fast forward a little bit, I checked my tire pressure randomly, and they were so low. I was putting myself at risk just because I hadn't pulled out a tire gauge. That's just crazy. So making sure my gear, my scooters, and everything else keep me safe is part of my routine again. This video that I'm linking to here is the reason for this video. And I gotta give a special shout out to Marty. He sent me this shirt, and thank you, Marty. He has been around the scooter community here for a little bit, trying to make sure he gets the right scooter, but he's a new rider and just got himself a Kimco People. So officially, welcome, Marty. Be seen and be safe, scooter friends.